Welcome everyone, it's Fury here, and as always, check this website for more tutorials. It's been a while. I haven't been recording any videos because I was pretty ill. You know, I had cough, my throat was just making me unable to talk at all. But I'm back here now, and whoops, wait a second, I gotta close up the Maya of mine. Okay. Just give me a second. So we're gonna pretty much, um, just go with the last where we finished on the last video. So we're gonna go right away to our RPG game. See what we've got. I watched a little bit of this video there, but So what we've got, okay, so as I see we have the um, blades and stuff, and we have some simple inventory system. Huh. Okay. Yeah, that's what it was. Alright. Whoopsie. Let's see once again. Whoops. Let's see once again what's going on. Because I did not pick up that many swords. That's what was the reason for it. So I just picked up one and two, I guess. Yep. There was some issue. I don't know. There appeared more swords than I picked up, but we'll figure out later. In this video, we're gonna pretty much go about something quite boring, you could say. Just give me a second here. With something quite boring, but it will be needed later. So I'm planning on having a few classes in this RPG games, like the guy who is dealing with magic mostly, the guy who is dealing with the weapons and stuff like this, very, very, very simple and very, I guess, popular way. It's nothing unique, but so I basically what I would like to have this player I got. I want him to be actually be. I want to be able to put multiple classes of the player. So choose if I want to have a magic guy, if I want to have the other one, blah blah blah. So we have to turn the player component into actual component that is usable in editor. And it's not gonna be simple, and it's not gonna be I guess it's not gonna be so short or fast to do. Yeah, there's gonna be a little bit of work, and I don't remember how I achieved this previously, so I'm gonna be just figuring out the stuff. So first of all, we gotta expose the player component to the actual editor. So we're gonna see how to expose it to the editor, and I'm gonna go to Crytek stuff here. That's how they expose it to the editor. You just grab that shit here. Okay, copy that and paste it on the top here. I'm gonna call it register player, and also player component. If you at any point, if you get this highlighted in red or that, you're gonna need to include schematic schematic. If you get it. If you don't have it highlighted, then it's not a big deal. You don't have to do this, but normally you would have to do elements and environment component. This. After you have to probably include this, and it's also possible that you would have to include guess some of the reflection utilities. I'm not sure. I think those two I showed you before, they're enough. If you have red light, but you shouldn't get any red light on this. Oh yeah, this is what you need also. Registry, registrar, and component function environment signal eventually. So include any of this stuff to get it work. But as you can see, I don't get any red light here. So now to turn it to the component that is accessible from editor, I'm gonna cut it from here because we're gonna expand this method a little bit. So this method will be bigger, and the bigger stuff is cool to have in the CPP file. So I'm gonna leave the guide. If you look into spawn point, you should see how they actually achieve this stuff. So I'm gonna just copy this and paste here. Add your category, players, label. Let's do player component. Is component for the all player classes. That's pretty much it. That's all you need to do to expose it to the editor. I'm gonna try to compile it now and see if we are actually able to see it from within the editor. But it might crash in the editor, so I'm gonna go to the sandbox, right click, and set a startup project. Damn it. And debug it right away. So if anything crashes, I'm just gonna pick it up right away. So I'm gonna go to our example map. Gonna find our component. It should be in players. Yep, player component. So I drop it here. As you can see, he has the camera, he has everything. He is the guy over here. Yeah. Let's see the properties. Yeah, so he's got all the components already attached to him. But the problem that will occur here, and will be really shitty issue later, is that, for example, if I just crop this guy and I guess it was reload all scripts. As you can see, there is second model on him. So some of the components get duplicated. I don't know why this issue actually happens. So you can see this is two models here now. And if I do it another time, it's gonna put another model in there and another. So some of the components actually get duplicated, which is fucked up, which is something that we don't want to happen no matter what. Well, I'm not sure though. As I can see, no component is duplicate it. But yeah, I guess okay. In case if this happens in a game world, then we're gonna sort it out by creating our own components. If it does not happen in the game world, then it's not a problem. We will see. In fact, we don't care about dropping player in the editor because, of course, we can just jump into the game and we have our player over here, right? So we don't care about this. What we care about is to create actual player classes like the Witcher guy, or not the Witcher. I don't wanna call the game like magician guy and barbarian or something like this. So we're gonna go new entity. Let's create new folder here and let's call it players. And let's call it player underscore magician. Okay, let's do it. Nope. And we're gonna add our component, player component, okay. The problem here is that this component doesn't allow us to actually like go inside of these components that he has and change anything within it. So we will have to create our own components, or let me think. We could do okay. Let me see something. Actually, go not here. Shit. I'm trying to approach it in a little bit different way, a little bit more, I guess, newbie friendly way then, because rewriting all these components will be really complicated. So it does not allow us to change the model and stuff. If we have advanced animations component, then we could do all that. The only problem now would be that if I save it up, then he's gonna have double components. So he's gonna have advanced animations component here and another one loaded inside in here. Here, animation component. So it's gonna have duplicated. Obviously, at some point, you might want entity to have two components of the same type, but I don't want. So as you can see, he has the duplicated component. And I'm gonna close it up here. Yeah, let's save the level, and we're gonna go to C++ and solve it. So I was thinking that we could actually add these components in the editor. So we just comment this out. We're not gonna do this. The only one that we will actually, I think, leave here is the input component, because input component has you know, a lot of stuff. Okay, doesn't matter. We can actually do it for all. I just decided it. So we can comment out just like guess everything. All of this we can. Can we? Let's not. Let's just do these lines that actually initialize components. We're gonna remove them. At this point, camera component will not exist. At that point, character controller component will not exist. At that point, animation component will not exist, and inventory component can stay, but also the input component. I guess input component will not we will not do anything with this because input component doesn't have any properties that we want to change or anything from the editor, so we don't care, we're gonna leave it. The problem will occur here, that the on the initialize function, he's gonna call these pointers and say, hey, try to do this and that, and these pointers will be null because we just removed initialization of these components. So we're gonna just do if mp character controller, and here if mp animation animation component, it's gonna be a little bit more. Okay, and yeah, let me think now. Can we access any of animation component features like these are protected? These are protected, so we can't access them. Oh, damn it. We will see. We have to figure out how to do this. So we can't access these. Can we get them? Like, get. Okay, we can get this property. Cool. Can we get character file? Character instance. Get. So we can't get the character file. We will look into this. Set character file. But we can't get the character file. We can't return it. So can we get a get character? Get. Okay, so we don't need it. We can get file path out of the character. So we can do this. Can we get controller definition file? Controller definition file. Yes, we can. Can we get default scope context name? We can do. Can we get default fragment name? Yes, we can. Can we get animation driven motion? No, it's just set, but we're gonna leave it as a false anyway. We're not gonna be using this. Can we get fragment ID? Yes, I think that's pretty much all we wanted. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna just remove this from here. We're gonna go mp animation component. Oh wait, let me think, because actually it's nothing that we would need at all, to be honest. Damn it, yeah, because yeah, all we would need from here is that, because yeah, all of these features you can actually add access from the editor, so I don't care about those, to be honest. Load from disk, what it does pretty much, it just loads up these fragment IDs, so you are able to get this stuff, and you know, a little bit more you can just look into it. That's what it does. It initialize some pointers for the animation component and stuff, which I don't need to know. I mean, it would be good if you know, but now we have to look through the player to see to see where these components are actually in use. So at any point, if they are used at any point, we have to check if they are valid now. Or okay, let's see something. I wanna see if actually editor will try log always controller loaded. I just wanna see if this initialize method will be called first and the other components methods will be called second or not. I know it's a little bit complicated, but I said in this video it will be complicated to turn player into actual you know, the editor accessible component. So we're gonna go to the schematic now. We're gonna open up our Magician. Okay, so it just does revive and all this stuff, so we have to filter this anyway. So we'll do it. Alright, so or yeah, wait a second, I can actually compile this. I'm gonna go to our RPG assets and to our player entity, and this is actually file that is describing our player from the schematic. So I'm going to advanced animations, blah blah blah. Gonna remove this element, component instance, blah blah blah, base. I don't care about this. What I care about is the shit. Okay, so I'm just gonna remove this. Don't be worried about it. I know I'm actually not doing anything for the video, but I'm trying to figure out to show you guys how to actually figure out things too, but how to create we have the folder players, so we're gonna do players player underscore magician. Now I'm gonna add, first of all I'm gonna add animations, okay, all this, you know, stupid shit here, and after that I'm gonna add the camera component, and after that I'm gonna add the character controller component, save up, and then in the end I'm gonna try to add player component, so he should be able to so he's gonna just do it anyway. So let's not do it this way. So let's just go around. I was just testing the stuff, so we have to find all appearances of the animation component and actually, you know, grab animation and character controller and camera as well, and grab this stuff and see, you know. And so okay, I'm actually gonna do something better than that. Oh shit, I can't do it. Okay, well, we'll see. Let's do one by one. Revive. Do we have? Yes, they use animation and control. So if MP animation controller component and MP character controller. So we check them. they're not used anymore here. Spawn a spawn point, we don't care here. Pick up, not a big deal. I think where they are used mostly, I'm gonna do Control F and find all. I'm gonna find all appearances of this. Okay, I gotta defilter this one. Here, not a big deal. Velocity, it's okay here. They are used in update functions and nowhere else. I'm gonna check also animation component. Where is it used? It's used in player, so I just got rid of this. It's already filtered here, not a problem at all. Here, and player update as well. So what I'm going to do, instead of filtering every single one here, I'm just gonna lock possibility in update here. So if pick MP camera component and MP animation component and MP character controller component, if these components are valid, then you can do whatever you want to do with this, but otherwise no way. I'm gonna load up the editor as always, see what it does at all, if it has any issues. So open up our player magician. Gonna remove these components from here. The reason why is just that I wanna check if I can do it. I wanna be able to do it no matter what order. So I don't wanna follow like number 1 is animation, number 2 is camera. No, I wanna just grab player component, build up this player this way, advanced animations. I wanna have a camera and I wanna have character controller. So the order doesn't matter. So it's not crashing. It's good. So we don't care about player component at the moment. We worry about this. It's camera component. So render collider. We're gonna choose the character for our player. Obviously objects, character, sample character, third person. Rendering minimum graphics, blah blah blah, global illumination, animation database, it's over here, mannequin, animation database, first person. Second is controller definition file, first person controller definition file, third person character, and idle is the default fragment name. Animation driven motion I don't want, and use ground alignment I don't want it either. So we can close this, and then we have mass of the guy will be 80 kilos, let's say. Density, remember always, if you put anything in density, do not do the mass. If you do the mass, then don't do density, because these are only one of them can work at the time. Probably if you set up both of them here, they're gonna be filtered and engine will use one of them. But just so you know that density and mass are completely different, two different things that cannot coexist. Now camera. This is default values the player have. I'm not gonna change it. It's cool. It looks alright. If you wanna have a different field of view, you can change it for a player. Character controller, mass, collider height, use capsule. It's all good. It's default stuff. I'm gonna just leave it. It's fine. This default stuff is fine. Holy shit! I closed it. I wanna load up the map in the editor and try to drop this entity on the map to see what happens. Oop. So legacy entities, players, magician. Bang. There's our player. Now if I just go and try to reload the scripts, yeah, it's still giving the second guy over here. It's not a big deal. It should not happen in the real game. So now if I start actual game in here, if I press Ctrl G, then my player does not appear. Which is like okay, but if you want, you can have a basic player for the editor purposes, just like it was before, and we're gonna do it actually. So the way to do it is it's actually grabbing the old stuff from animation component and putting it over here. So okay, so okay, I'm gonna reverse. Shouldn't do that. I'm gonna go into the CryEngine 5.4 templates CPP with third-person shooter code components player CPP. I got this old stuff here. I can actually show you on the screen. So this is, you know, the basic or original code for the player in the third-person template. I'm gonna just copy this and put it over here. You'll see why. So now this stuff is specific from here up to this point is specific for the editor, for the game itself. But so we're gonna go if environment is editor, shit. Yeah, actually editor. So if this stuff is not the editor, yeah, if it's the game, actual game, not the editor, then it's gonna do work on the components of the actual that we, you know, put in there. But else, so if it is editor, then we're gonna just do exactly like it was. Default components, okay, exactly as it was in here in the editor, in the original template. Just gonna remove those comments from here. This is, you know, for the sake of, you know, if you're building map or stuff, because why am I actually changing player component into component that is accessible from the editor? The reason is that I wanna prepare this for the future component that will be a main menu where you can choose a type class of the player for your game that you want to start with. So but still, if you are building map, then yeah, you can. If you're building map, then obviously, sorry, damn it. If you are building map, then you obviously wanna have this ability of just jumping into the game in editor. So, and I'm just gonna obviously do this. Keep it. This is editor specific code. I think it should work. Never tried that though. Yep, it works. Not a problem at all. So now we have this player here, and also if we want to, we have our magician, which is guy that is doubled up for some reason, and he shouldn't, but he is. we'll see. I'm gonna now save this up and export it to the engine to make sure that the map is up to date. I'm gonna actually go to the game now, see if this our player is seriously duplicated by the engine, or or it works properly in the game world. Okay, now it seems like he does not have the camera or something. Oh yeah, I know why. Or actually I don't. Oh yeah, I actually do know why. Okay, so in here, these character controller components will not work this way. What we actually have to do, we will have to actually initialize them like before. So we're gonna grab the camera, almost like before. The difference is this camera component, is already inside this entity because we created this in the schematic. So we're not creating this component. We're just gonna go get component. The components it's already there. We just want to get it, and it's gonna be the same for the character controller and any of the other stuff, animations too. So we assign this component that we added in the editor. We're gonna assign it to these pointers so we can use them later. I'm not sure if it's gonna go this way. So if this actual pointer is initialized, if this player component is initialized earlier than any other component, I'm not sure about this, but I'm gonna see. I'm just gonna see if it works. It's still the same, so it does not have this ability. So the player component is initialized before these components. That's why they're just null pointers. Not a problem at all, because we can obviously go into update. We're gonna go here and create something. We're gonna do bool be player or is initialized false. So we're gonna do our own method of initialization for the sake of having multiple player classes. So now let's do it later after this. Now if it's not initialized, then crop this shit here, or actually not only, we should actually grab all of this stuff. If it's not editor, yes, sorry for confusing you. If it's not initialized, then initialize it, and obviously not in the editor. And b is initialized is true. So we just do it once and never again. Or not yet. We may have to make sure that 3 of those are actually that 3 of those components are actually indeed initialized properly. Now it's quite complicated, but you just do it once and you make sure that this. So this is our initialize function, really initialized function. This is here is if environment is editor. So this is the editor only. This is input initialization for, you know, general stuff, and inventory of course component, and initialization becomes true when only when these all components exist. Not sure if it's gonna work. It should, but you know, there's always something. Still nothing. It's weird. I'm gonna put this aside and debug it a little bit. So all of these are null pointers, huh? That's weird. Whoa. So okay. I'm back. I figured out what was wrong. I was just being stupid because I did not understand what I did properly. I mean, yes, it's all good. We did good job. Not a problem at all. So if I run the game now, it shows black screen. But the reason for this is very simple. It's because it loads up the basic character of the player component. So he doesn't have this. It's not loading actual entity that we created in schematic. We have to make him do it. So yeah, if we just go to the sandbox now. We obviously have our magician over here with all these components that we created without any changes at all. He has some name of his own, so and his name will be schematic has some, you know, set names for the entities. So his name basically, his schematic name or entity name, if you want to spawn this as instance of this entity, you would have to get its name, and its name is nowhere here. It's gonna be over here, player magician, but it's not only thing. You're gonna have to call it like, where is our entity? It's inside the players, and then, you know, our entity. So basically the way it's gonna be called is players, player magician. That's all. That's how the class is called. So now to spawn our actual entity of this type, let's say magician. I know he doesn't have any functionality for the magic or any other stuff like this, but just yet. But we're gonna put him. It's gonna be in, obviously game plugin. This is where the player is spawned, and what CryEngine does is pretty much he grabs the default entity class, which is, you know, empty floating entity, and then adds player component to it. Well, we're gonna do it completely different. So what we're gonna do is entity class p player class. In the future we're gonna be choosing this class from the main menu, but at the moment we're just gonna do this. Player class, entity system, get class registry, and find class, and it's gonna be called players. Oh shit. Player magician. That should do. I might be wrong. I might written this wrong way, but we will see. So we just put it over this here like this, and now, now we gotta get rid of this, cause we no longer attach player component to this. It's already done in schematic, right? So we no longer do this, and the rest can probably stay like it. We will try to run the game now. Or actually, let's do something else. Like if we still want to have normal we still want to have normal entity class in editor, right? So if it's not editor, then in the normal, like in the game world, if it's not editor, then we're gonna do the player class like we show here, and if it is editor, then spawn params p class equals p entity system get class registry and default class like before, and then here we could actually do the EC player component. Now if is editor, then component. We don't need this player anyway, so let's just do p player entity get or create component class, c player component. That's it. Oh shit, I'm running editor now. I want to run the game to see if this magician is actually being called. So I'm gonna put breakpoint here to see if I written this properly, if this class actually exists. Ooh, nope. Yeah, was it schematic first? Was it? I don't remember. That's probably what it was. Schematic, and then goes folder, and then eventually other folder if you have one. Yes, the class is found. So yeah, so our game works. There's some issue with the animations, I see. But holy shit, what's going on with the animations? We'll figure out eventually. We'll figure out definitely. What's the issue with the animations? Idle and walk and all this stuff. Probably have something to do with our. Let's go into sandbox once again. I know I still do sandbox debugging, but when dealing with uh, schematic and components. It's cool to have to constantly work on it. So I guess that could be the reason. First person character. First person should be everywhere. Animation driven motion, probably. That's what was missing. I guess so. We'll figure out eventually, as I say. Let's run the game once again. That's probably what was that. What it was. Oh no, animation driven motion won't do the job either. Whoops. Well, yeah. We will have to figure it out eventually what's going on with the animations. But it shouldn't be too difficult, I guess. Yeah, it shouldn't be too difficult. Character controller. Collision signal. Surface velocity. Seems alright. Yeah, but animation driven motion, it's not what we want to have. I'm going to look into character controller. Just gonna make sure if all is the default values as they were before. Here they are. 80. I'm gonna open up on the other screen. So we have the physics, blah blah blah, character controller, air controller, 80 kilos, collider radius, falls. The air control ratio is it should be 1 as far as I see over here. If you may not see, but I'm actually looking at these default values in character controller. So air resistance 0.2, 8, 50, 50, 70, 80, and yeah, max ground velocity. That should be alright. With the camera, it doesn't really matter. With the advanced animations, I can actually also look into the animations itself, how they actually deal with stuff. Physics renders. Yep, I guess it's all right. Yeah, I guess it's fine. We will see. Holy shit. I actually probably did not save it up. I'm being stupid. Really, really stupid. But let's load it up once again. It's fine. It's alright. I don't think though that this would be the reason for the player to walk like an idiot. I don't think it's air resistance. it works in the editor, but idle first person character. Oh, I would say that must be some shit. I would say that most likely it's something to do with the animation setup somehow. Yeah. Let's maybe see whether these components are all properly prepared for the movement. Seems like they are. Yep. This movement is weird. Yeah, something's definitely wrong with the animation stuff, but alright, I'm back. I figured out what's going on with this animation component, or the character being duplicated, or these animation issues. I'm gonna run the game once again to show you what's going on. Alrighty, so you can see the animation is so fucked up. If you look into the revive method, it actually resets the character, and it assigns pretty much the other one and the other one. And revive is called like 5 times during the game, so we're gonna put there if the environment is editor here. We don't want the revive to happen in the game world at this point. Also, yes, also the same story here. We also filter this. And we're also gonna filter this in here. No more revive happen in the game world, only in the editor. This is possible, but in here we're gonna do our game revive, and we're gonna put it on the bottom here. So this will actually, what this does is pretty much it initializes all the components, creates assigns the idle, walk and rotate, fragment IDs, loads the animations, and then revive, and revive will reset the character and stuff. But the issue now will be that the character will be duplicated, and the issue is, I'll show you. You see the 2 characters. Animations work already, but 2 characters we have. The issue here is that this method in animation component, actually what it does, reset character, it sets the character for our entity, and instead of doing some, only one proper character, so instead of doing this, it's actually creating new slots. So get or make entity slot, it creates another slot and another one and another one, and this, the reset character, is called on initialize of this. You can't see it, but I know the code behind in C++ here in CPP file. Initialize calls reset character method, so it's been called twice. That's why we have two characters. And it calls the, I'm gonna actually prove it, for int a equals 0. Let's just do simple loop like this. And shit, I equals, let's say it's less than 10, for example, I plus plus. And now cry log or if a character, so if there is valid character in the slot, mp entity mp entity get character in slot, then cry log always slot has character. Normally you would only want one slot there. For example, slot 0, usually they do slot 0. But for some reasons, or for the reason that, you know, it's being called twice, it actually gives you result 1 and 4, which is, you know, fucked up. So we're gonna just do here mp entity free slot 1. At the moment, that's gonna be our workaround. Okay, so we have our animations working properly, and our magician is being, you know. So I'm gonna prove you that, you know, this is gonna be very useful for you in the future. Oh yeah, let's just do it through the Visual Studio. I gotta, you know, cut this video a little bit. So okay, here you go to the schematic. We're gonna load up our character. This is obviously our character over here with all the components. So I'm gonna create new one. Let's call it player Fury. Let's call him Fury. It's gonna be called very cool. So let's do player component, of course, animation component, camera, and character controller. Controller ratio 1, camera default value. Here let's use the same character, but for example our Fury character will have, okay, let's keep the animations the same, of course. Controller definitions, scope, constant context, first person character, and idle. Let's do 80, of course, as always. And if, for example, we create some, can we actually? There is nothing like it. Let's do, for example, 100 field of view. But if we have, for example, some, later we add some special stuff like, you know, the movement speed or strength or health or something like this, then you're gonna be able to set it up in here in player component for each different class, and this is gonna be cool. And also like regeneration ratio and that kind of stuff, it's also gonna be able to put in here, so each class will be unique and each class will have different, will be like prepared for different stuff. Let's now go to plugin and our character magician, we're gonna swap it to our Fury character. So you're probably gonna be able to see that his his field of view is different. I changed it from 75 to 100, and I guess this is gonna be feasible. Yes, so it looks completely different. I mean, like, you know, it's further away from the camera. Looks to be further away from the player, which is not really, but so that's the way we're gonna create more properties in the future for the player. So he's gonna be able to have multiple like health, as I said, strength, and you know, all this stuff that RPG game wants. So see you in the next video.